Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to our friends in Facebook. Good morning to our friends in YouTube. Good morning to our friends on Instagram. Good morning to our friends on Twitter. Good morning to our friends on Twitch. And good morning to our newly welcomed friends on LinkedIn. How are you this morning? Today is Thursday, September the 10th. And we are here connecting like every day at 9 a.m. Central Time to start the day with the right food to recalibrate, as I always like to say, to recalibrate our instrument. And today I have a topic that I am very interested in, and it has to do with something so many people is going through right now. And it's I just received a big no. Should I insist or should I move on? You know, sometimes people tell you, yes, go for it, insist, this is your chance, don't give up. And then sometimes there are things that, you didn't take, in life, or that didn't come to your life even when you insisted, and it led you to even a better place. So that is the topic for today. You just received a big no. Should you insist or should you move on? And I'm very intentional with the topic of today because today I am going, and this is a little bit of a hint of what's coming up, I am going to reapply to a business course that turned me down a while ago. And I said, I'm going to give this a second chance. I'm going to knock on that door again. But not every no is the same. So today we're going to talk about how to identify different kinds of no's, because sometimes in life, the best surprises that we receive in life come packaged in the form of a big fat no. So don't get desperate if you're receiving some no's these days. It might be something that's even better for you in the future. So having said that, we are going to start our show in 20 seconds right after these credits. There has never been a better time to be a pioneer than right now. Diversity is beautiful. Thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning for those of us who are just joining it in. Today we are going to discuss this. You just received a big no. Should you insist or should you move on? And we are starting to receive the first comments. Catalina, like every morning. Good morning, Abby. How are you doing? Hope you have a great day today. Dan Díaz, besotes, mi amor. Dependiendo de la situación, pero move on sounds more likely. Saludos. Thank you for sharing your take on it. And follow Dan, he's a reporter in Suelta la Sopa in Telemundo. So, people, that's what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about you just received a big no. Should you insist? Should you move on? And I received so many no's in my life, so many times where I felt the world was falling apart. And some no's were where I had to insist. Some no's were no's where I had a clear feeling that I had to persevere, like a burning desire. And some other no's were where I just surrendered. Some no's were no's that I received and I said, like, this might not be the place for me to stay. This might not be the company for me to stay. This might not be the relationship for me to stay. And it was a no that led me to new opportunities, new scenarios. So we always have, when we receive a no, we always have this feeling inside, should I insist? Should I persevere or should I move on? Just suéltalo, como dicen. So what I'm going to talk about today is two different kinds of no's that I recognize through my experience. No is the same, and I talk more about the types of no in my book, El Círculo Virtuoso, The Virtuous Circle. It's in Spanish already, published by HarperCollins. You can find it in Amazon, everywhere. And it's coming up in English, published by HarperCollins Leadership, coming up January 2021. I'm going to tell you more about that. but you know, more details in a few days. Good morning. Anil is here from India. Hello, India. How are you doing? So going back to, and I want you to comment and share with me, what's your take? Do you think you have to insist? Are you the people who say enough is enough? You know, more things are gonna come my way. What is your take when you receive a big fat no in something that is important for you? So, what I'm going to talk about today is that not every no is the same. I have found out that there are different types of no's. So 2 types of no's is what we're going to discuss today. How to identify the type of no that you are receiving today, and then what to know, how to react depending on the type of no that you're receiving today. So the first type of no is what I call the uphill no. So you're going on your road. The road, you know, it's you're going higher in whatever you're doing, and you start receiving no's. So how do you recognize that you are facing an uphill no's? This is very easy, very simple. This type of no's are the type of no's that you receive when you're trying to reach new levels. So for example, let's say that you are an actor and you're going to an audition, your first audition, you're going to receive so many no's. It doesn't mean that the world is against you. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. All it means is that you are trying to reach new levels. The same thing applies when you're looking for a promotion. There's probably more people applying for that promotion, for that job, than vacancies available. So when you are looking for new levels in your journey, in your career, in your profession, or in your studies, you're applying to a school that is harder to get into, you are going to face this uphill no's. So recapping, these are the no's in your auditions. Somebody looking for a promotion, very easy to identify. But when you receive the no, you don't know what kind of no you are receiving. Now, let's go to the second type of no. And this second type of no is something that I have called the detour no. So the detour no is not, you know, remember, the uphill no is when you're going to a different level. You're going up and you receive no's. The detour no is a little bit different because it's the no that you face that takes you to an alternative scenario. So for example, let's say that you are in an industry that is in contraction, that is not expanding, it's in contraction. Let's say you're working, you know, a few years ago you were working in Blockbuster and you're receiving no's. Your company is downsizing, there are no opportunities, there are no promotions, you're seeing the stores that are closing. Okay, maybe you have to think that this situation is not a situation when the smartest thing is to persevere. Maybe the smartest thing is to look for an alternative scenario. When you are facing that type of no's, then you know you are talking about a detour no. So here are some examples when you are in an industry that is in contraction, or for example, sometimes you are in a toxic relationship. When you're in a relationship and it's a toxic relationship or a dysfunctional relationship, you know that the answer to that no is not perseverance, is not keep insisting, is not doing you the work that should be done by 2 people. It's, as we say, alternative scenarios. And I'm receiving some of your comments here. Muy buenos días, Gaby, Jorge Narváez. Besitos, mi amor. Thank you so much for being here. Marco Garcia, I usually insist one more time and then let life take its course. That's a good way of doing it. You do everything you can, everything that is in your power, and then you let life take its course. You know, I did something like that when it came to my my green card. The process in my green card was so hard. I had to apply like 3 or 4 times. My case was backlogged. Things wouldn't work out. Like everything was going to be so complicated. And I said, I am going to insist and do everything that is within my power to stay in the United States when I first arrived. And I said, if it is up to me, I'm going to do whatever it's needed. Every paper, every recommendation letter, every signature, everything that they are requiring from me, I'm doing it. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna submit everything, and on the other side, one day there's going to be an officer that is going to look at my case and is going to make a decision. And I cannot control what that officer is going to think that day, how he woke up or she woke up, and because there's always some degree of discretionality. And I said, I'm going to do whatever I have in my power, everything that I can to make this case a success and to prove that really I am suitable for this case. But then at the end of the day, I don't control everything, and so I think that allow life to take its course. It's a good way of thinking about it. So thank you so much, Marco García, for sharing. Jorge Alfredo, buen día, querida, buen día, querido. How are you doing? ¿Cómo están empezando su día? So something that I want to share with you is when you are facing a no and you don't know if it's a no or a detour no, sometimes we don't know if the answer is to persist or to look for alternative scenarios, to look for alternative options. So I'm going to give you something that I've learned along the way, how to think about each no. And here's what I have in my mind, how to deal with a no. If you think that the no you have in front of you is an uphill no, meaning that this is a no that comes from you trying to reach new heights, looking for, as I said, looking for a promotion, looking for, an education that is better than the one that you have right now, or you are doing an audition. If you are sure that the no that you have in front of you is an uphill no, absolutely you have to persevere. You have to have that burning desire to know that you are going to reach new levels and you are receiving this no because rejection sometimes is part of the process when you are looking for new opportunities. Rejection many times is part of the process when you are moving forward with so many things, going forward with your career, with your life, with your opportunities. So sometimes I tell people, it's not that you have to necessarily anticipate no's, because maybe you knock on a door and the first door where you knock, it's a yes. And how wonderful is that? It's not so usual that happens, but many times it happens. So it's not so much that you are anticipating a no, but that it's gonna be probably part of the equation, so that it doesn't take you by surprise, so that you don't take it as personal as you would have if you went to that opportunity, or if you went to knock on that door thinking that for sure it was a given for you to receive a yes. So whenever you have an uphill no, absolutely the recommendation is for you to persevere. Now, if you feel the no that you have just received is a detour no, remember, the detour no is the one that is going to take you to an alternative scenario. We shared the example of Blockbuster. You don't want to be the last store in Blockbuster. You don't want to be the last employee in Blockbuster. So there's a moment when you receive so many no's and when things are not working that you have to be honest with yourself and think that maybe what you need is a detour. What you need is to go to an alternative scenario. It applies to business, it applies to life, it applies to relationships, it applies to so many things. You receive a no, and sometimes that no is your message to try something else. And so when that is the case, then what you have to do is to keep an open mind. Keep an open mind for alternative solutions. Keep an open mind for alternative possibilities. Keep an open mind for alternative life can surprise you with. So let me see what you're saying. I don't know who's saying this, but thank you for leaving your comment. It says, buenos días, en los uphill hay que empujar mucho, mucho, mucho. Eso, bueno, un beso for this Facebook user. Okay, she wants to push. She says, for those who speak English, it says, good morning. In the uphill nose, you have to push really, really hard. And then Joseph Lento, good luck with the show. Excellent advice. Thank you so much. So I want to hear from you. What is your best practice? What is your best strategy when you receive a no, or have you received a no? And how has this affected you? Are you the type of person who takes it very personally? Does this affect your self-esteem? Or in the contrary, some people, when they receive a no, it's like fuel for their goals. So are you the type of people, the type of person who receives a no and takes it as a challenge, and yes, this is going to be the thing that is going to propel me forward? Whatever you do, whatever you feel, whatever you handle it, my recommendation, and if there's one thing I want you to know, and I want you to take away from today's message to start your day here together in Live with Gabby from my closet, is this: never allow a no to define your self-worth. We don't know if the no that you're receiving sometimes is an uphill no and you should persevere. We don't know if the no that you are receiving today is a detour no and you should look for alternative scenarios or solutions. But the bottom line, if there's something I can leave you with today, is never allow for that no to define your self-worth. Because I know sometimes, and it happened to me so much when I was unemployed, when I graduated in Argentina, there was 20% of unemployment. I was a recent graduate with a master's in journalism, and I was so ready to take over the world, but the world had a very different plan for me. There was a big crisis. We had 5 presidents in 10 days. We had 20% unemployment. And after spending almost 2 years unemployed, I started to feel, I got very depressed, and I started to feel that lack of response from employers, from the world, that lack of interest in what I had to offer was a reflection of my value as a professional, or of my value even as a person. So don't make the mistake. It's very easy to mistakenly assume that if nobody's calling you, it means that I'm no valuable as a professional or as a person. Don't make that mistake. So people, this is almost for today. Catalina Willerson, like you said, Gabby, don't take it personally and keep working hard to make your dreams come true. Hope you have a great start to your day. Don't allow those no's to take you down, and remember, never allow a no to define your self-worth. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Besitos para todos. Share, like. I always forget to say that. If you like it, share, like. Besitos.